Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Madhouse Podcast. I'm your host, Maddie Smith. I'm joined today by a leaf. There is a leaf behind me, and I didn't even notice it until 50 minutes into the episode. And that's how good Jorge is at putting the studio together. He saw this leaf and he said, of course I need to hang it on the wall. Did you do that, Jorge?
Yeah.
Absolute genius. The vibes in here are jungle. I feel like I'm between two ferns. I feel like Fern Gully. And I think it's just a great atmosphere, okay? We have a great episode coming up to you. Before we get started, the Everything But the Ass tour is in full motion, people, okay? So if you want to come out and if you live in Colorado, I'm doing 6 shows in Colorado this weekend. How lucky am I? How lucky am I? 5 of these shows are actually in Greenwood Village, Colorado. So while my tour poster says Denver, it's actually 40 minutes south of Denver. Yeah. How fun is that? That would be the Comedy Works South location. It's a 380-person room. And if I had to guess, ticket sales are in the double digits right now. Okay, so I think it's going to be a great weekend. 5 shows in Greenwood Village, Colorado, March 20 to 22nd. But if you live closer to this downtown Denver, 1 show Sunday, March 23rd at the Comedy Works downtown location. All tickets are available at maddysmithcomedy.com. Next week, I'm looking forward to doing a few shows in the Midwest. That's right. March 27th, I'm doing 1 show at the Improv in Milwaukee. The next night, I'm doing 1 show in Chicago. That would be Chicago, Illinois, not to be confused with Chicago, Texas. March 28th at the Den Theater. So those are just one-nighters. And then I'm heading back to the city to do 1 show in Hoboken, New Jersey at a little venue called Willie McBride's. MaddieSmithComedy.com for all tickets. Moving into April 4th and 5th, we're doing the Creek in the Cave favorite here at the Madhouse. April 11th through 12th, we're doing the Raleigh Improv in North Carolina. And then in May, I'm coming to Tulsa. And then in fucking June, I'm coming to Fort Collins, Colorado. July, Albuquerque, New Mexico. MaddieSmithComedy.com. More dates coming soon. We're including a one-nighter in Philly. Gonna fill out May and June and the summer and blah, blah, blah. MaddieSmithComedy.com for all tickets. All right. Come out. We've been having a hoot and a holler in time. Merch is available at my shows. Check this shit out. Got a Betty Boop merch t-shirt live in the studio. That would be right above Caroline's head there. MaddieSmithComedy.com/merch to grab your t-shirt, to grab your Maddie with the Fatty t-shirt, to grab your Madhouse hat. And of course, merch is sold at the shows for a little bit cheaper than online. How fun is that? It's a really good idea to start all your shows by peddling every product you ever had. I think that's a great thing to do. Just full 4 minutes of, hey guys, give me fucking money, okay? We got a guest in the studio today. He's mad himself, Matthew Broussard. He's a mathematician, he's a comedian, he's a roast battler, and he just put out a special on YouTube called Hyperbolic. He's very smart. He started comedy in Texas, then he went to LA, made his mark doing Conan and The Tonight Show, and this is his first special out. So we sit around, we talk about touring, we talk about math, we talk about everything under the sun. Stay tuned for that.
I'm a Jew. I don't look super Jewish. I am asymptomatic. I look like our natural predator, if anything. And it's a weird time for the Jews. Strange time right now. There's been a recent uptick in anti-Semitism the last 3,000 years, so it's getting tense. I'm always frustrated by the ignorance of it. It's always just wild, baseless claims like, oh, Jews secretly run the media and the weather and the banks. And it's like, the banks isn't a secret. That one, we're pretty out there with that. Goldman Sachs, we put our name on the building twice. It's very overt. All of them. Lehman Brothers, Solomon Brothers, Bear Stearns. Oh, J.P. Morgan. Did you know J.P. stands for Jewish people? Do you know that? There's just so many Jews. Like, we can't even list them. Just Jewish people. Oh, and that one Goy Morgan. He's just here to hold down the fort on Yom Kippur. That's his whole job.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Back to the Mat. I can't talk. I'm so nervous today. Welcome back to the Madhouse. I'm joined in studio by a very special guest. You know him. He's been around. He's a touring comedian. You've seen him on Comedy Central's Roast Battle. And he has a brand new special out on YouTube. Can you remind me what it's called?
It's called Hyperbolic.
Hyperbolic. Clap it up for Matthew Broussard. What is good in the hood?
Do I have pit stains?
I didn't even mention.
Not yet.
Not
Okay,
yet.
good.
Not yet. I didn't even mention, we've been on the road together. We've
Yes, we
opened
have.
for Bert Kreischer.
Mr. Kreischer.
Together.
We've done cold plunges.
We've done cold plunges.
With Bert.
We've done roast battles.
We've done roast battles.
We've
Roast
battled
battle.
on Zoom before.
We roast battled on
I
Zoom.
think we've judged roast battle together.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
That's more fun.
Yeah.
It's more fun judging than
But we
being
did a Zoom
insulted by
one.
your friend.
We
yeah.
did a Zoom one, and what'd you say about me? You said something that brought the meeting room down.
I think about that joke. It's the only joke I've ever felt bad saying.
What was it? Something about Wild and Out, right?
Oh no, that wasn't the one I remember.
Oh, what did you say? What was
About
it?
your, it's about your skin, which was such a.
What'd you say?
Never mind if you don't remember.
Say it.
Oh, what was the Wild Now joke?
I thought you said something about me hanging out with black people on Wild and Out. But what was the skin joke? You can say it. I won't.
You have the skin of a smoker's wallpaper.
Yes.
And I remember I was on the Zoom,
Hurtful.
and when different people make different noises, it cuts to them, and it cut to you because you just went, oh,
Yeah, I was like, no.
like that didn't feel good for
Well,
me.
it's COVID. I've been actually working on my Korean 11-step skincare routine.
There we go.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. I haven't done a roast battle in a long time. Mm-hmm. Long time.
I went to Korea for skincare.
What do you mean?
We were in.
You said that like you went to college for economics.
We were in Thailand, and on our way back, we were going to connect through Seoul anyway. My lady and me.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, we could it'd be an easier trip if we just stopped in Seoul for 2 nights or whatever. And she was like, yeah, I want to go to their spas.
Yeah.
And their spas are like sweatshops of Botox.
I've seen spas. I've seen full nude. You go in. I've seen just TikTokers go and they're kind of just surrounded by other people. They do a
It's like the
full
DMV.
body. Yeah.
There's men and women, and they're all just lined. Basically, there's just a line of people, and they shoot you with something, and they walk to the next person and shoot you.
Nice.
And they don't. Also, it's super. They did this thing under my eyes. It was so painful, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Please stop.
Oh my
Give me a
God.
second." They're like, "No, keep going."
Did you feel better after? Did you
I did
feel
the Botox.
Do you think you look better?
I think it helped. Botox helps.
Yeah.
I have a very wrinkly forehead. I have a pug forehead if I don't do Botox.
Okay, word.
And Botox makes me better at poker because I keep the face.
Oh, true. Yeah. Dude, that's why the bitches are getting filler and Botox. It's not to look younger. It's so that they can make bank in poker. Everyone knows that. I've never gotten anything, but based on your roast battle comment,
You look
maybe I
great
should.
over Zoom.
So you went to Korea, you got a fiance, and you got a new special out on YouTube called Hyperbolic. Can you talk to us about the special?
I made a special. I recorded it myself. It's many years of jokes put together. I think it's really good. If you watch my clips online and like those, watch the longer thing. I think the longer thing is better. I think this is just my little PSA that when you're watching a clip of a stand-up comedian on social media, you're not watching their stand-up. You're watching a trailer for their stand-up. So go
Agreed.
watch the long stuff, and it's more enriching. And don't let our attention span shrivel and shrink like penises in the cold.
Agreed.
Work on
Yeah.
stretching them out.
Check out the long form. All of our clips, anything on my socials is just promo. It's just marketing, biatch.
It's just
That's why it's so annoying when people are like, oh, another clip of this bitch, blah, blah, blah. If you go to the longer stuff,
Yeah, right.
it's also very dirty. Okay, so what made you decide to do a special? Were you going back and forth with streamers?
No.
Did you word? Okay.
No.
You just said I've been doing a lot of stand up. I'm ready to. Do you haven't put out a special? I know
Nothing-
you've done
nothing
a
long
few
form before.
Fallon sets. Okay.
Yeah, I've done Fallon and Conan and a bunch of stuff with Comedy Central. And I just wanted to put something longer because all my favorite stand-up is those really good hours that you sit, you play on your laptop while you're cleaning your room,
Yeah.
and you
Best.
get distracted. Yeah, it's the best. I think an hour is or 45 is just a piece of work that I wanted to contribute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had someone in New York film it?
At Littlefield.
Nice.
with those blue lights behind me.
And were you nervous about, because you probably had to put a lot of money into it, right?
Yeah, I was willing to take the financial loss.
Yeah.
I got a good deal with my guy.
Nice.
And I was just worried about like it just doing nothing. That's the
But it's
fear.
not.
It's doing good.
Right.
It's doing okay.
Have you noticed ticket sales going up?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Just because the social, but mostly for the, on the technical level, the social media part of it, I kind of always knew that would be bigger. You hope that people watch the long form stuff, but it's always going to be more people watching the clips.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's something as well.
Yeah.
That's also a thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Where,
Getting my stupid face out there.
You didn't start in New York. You started in L.A. No, you started in Houston.
Yes, and then L.A.
Yes.
Where'd you start?
New York City.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2016.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Wow.
Stand Up New York was my first open mic.
Wow. Laughing Buddha?
No, it was just
Bringer?
regular.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, badslava.com.
Oh, yes.
I like researched all these comedians for like months. It was
Ah.
probably actually like 4 days. And then I realized, oh, those people all started with open mics.
Mhm.
And then I went to Stand Up New York. It said online it started at 5:30. Fucking started at 5.
Oof.
So I was last in line.
Did people wait?
I was
And
like
watch
4
this-
people there.
4 people?
Got fucking murdered. JK was regular.
Wow. Your first set was in front of 4 other comedians?
Yeah.
Oh, I would have
Yeah.
quit.
I think I had researched so much by
Mm-hmm.
then and was on the stand-up Reddit that everyone's like, just keep getting up.
Just
So
go.
I knew what you're supposed to do. I was
Mm-hmm.
like delusional by then.
Good. I don't know. My first set was in front of, it was the 4th spot. It was a Monday show in Houston. There were like 50 people there who weren't comedians. I was 4th, which is a really great slot out of 50.
Yeah.
And it couldn't have been set up more. They said it was my first time, so everyone was like way
Oh
more
my
supportive.
God, he's going to be best of luck.
And it went well, and then the second set went well, and then I bombed for months and wanted to quit.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I still had those 2 under my belt, so I was like,
Yeah,
I must not suck.
You got to get that little feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get that one little. I mean, I had a little bit of a pop in my first set.
Ooh. What was the joke?
Dude, I said some shit about, man, it was like, I think I said I hate running so much that I passed a woman and her dog, and I said, please bite me so I can get out of this
good
or
joke.
some shit. I was fat as fuck. I was large when I
Really?
first started stand-up.
You were large in 2016?
Although if I show people the photos now, they're like, oh, you're just regular because everyone's fat as fuck now. But I was
It's like Wally.
yeah, exactly.
just the norm.
Exactly. I was like 200 pounds.
Really?
Yeah.
God, that's what I weigh now.
Yeah.
Yeah. We would if I fought you then,
Yeah.
it would be a fair fight.
I
In,
know.
in wrestling, we'd
I
be
know.
in the same.
weight class.
Maybe you could have kicked my ass though. I don't know.
I don't
You
think
probably-
so.
yeah,
You look
okay.
jacked as fuck.
I got reach.
You look in
I
shape.
got long arms.
Yeah, you got long arms. I was just like a blob.
You got long arms.
I do, but I was just in college, senior year of college, I gained like 70 pounds in like 3 months.
Why? And you'd never been fat before?
Yeah, when I was in high school, I would say I was like mid-size. Mid-size.
A little RAV4?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, a RAV4, exactly. I was like a soccer player with like, some who ate a lot. I was regular.
Okay.
And then in college, in junior year of college, I developed something called an eating disorder. Have you heard of those?
Very big.
Yeah.
Very big in the 90s and 2000s and
Yeah.
2010s and
Yeah.
2020s and
Yeah,
now.
and
yeah.
now. And I decided I was going to run 5 miles a day and eat 1,200 calories a day. And that was junior year.
That'll work.
Weight slid right off.
That'll work.
The weight slid right off. And then it came right the fuck back.
With a vengeance.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
With interest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. With interest.
Like student loan debt.
Yeah, really came right. It was. It really is biology. If you do that to your body, it's going to rebel against you.
Yeah. That's the crazy thing about losing
Rebel.
weight is I've had some obsessive tendencies towards weight at times in my life that weren't very
Really?
healthy. And your body, sometimes you have the discipline to not eat and the discipline, and it's a very powerful feeling over yourself, and you make yourself work out and you're able to skip meals. But then your body's like, well, all the physical signals I'm sending are not going to work. So I'm just going to try to make you super depressed,
Yeah.
and then that can work.
Yeah, actually.
And like, ooh.
Yeah, we're gonna make you super depressed, and because you're not eating, you're gonna feel really anxious.
Uh-huh.
And when you're anxious, you're gonna freak out. And it's senior year of college, so you don't know where your life is going.
Right.
So you're gonna cope with food, bitch.
Uh-huh. And you have romantic rejection abound.
Yep.
And social
Yep.
rejection abound.
Yeah.
And you're going to, yeah.
Yeah. And then you feel yourself get bloated and you cope with it by eating more. And the weight just piles right on.
Ooh, 70. That's gotta in
Yeah.
3 months.
Yeah, my skeleton was exhausted.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Does your skin like a water balloon? Is everything taut?
I feel like everything's taut. I feel like my naked body is pretty taut. Now,
Wait,
I
but
don't
then,
know.
I'm saying then were you like...
Back then,
Yeah.
yeah, my skin hurt. My skin would hurt.
Really?
Yeah, with the
I always
stretching.
wondered about that.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Wow.
Yeah. But I don't know why. Maybe I just have good genes. I kept the weight I kept the weight from 2013 to 2017. And when I lost weight, it never, there's nothing on my body really that would indicate.
Nice. No residue.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Did it young, I guess.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess maybe also when I lost weight, it was sustainably lost. I just
Yeah.
started eating normally. And so then it was like, lost 20 pounds in a year and then another 20. And then I was down from like down to 160. And then there was like another dip. And then, so maybe it was sustainable or something like that. I don't know. It was very weird. It was a very weird time in my life.
I was 180 at the end of high school.
That's slim.
I'm 195 now.
Okay.
190, 190. I'm trying to get back down to 190. I hurt my knee, so I've been...
I really want to lose 5 pounds.
But then I got down to like 167 in high school.
Really?
In college, I was so afraid of the freshman 15 that I lost 15 right away. I was doing crazy. I wasn't eating after 8 o'clock ever.
Okay, yeah.
I would drink, which was a very unhealthy. I would go like run 3 miles and then start drinking because then I could drink fewer beers to get drunker.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And at a time where 18 as a man, you should be growing, you should be putting on muscle mass, you're probably even gaining a little bit of height. And I was like, I gotta lose it all.
Yeah, I gotta act like a Holocaust survivor. Yeah.
I look good. There's pictures of me when I was like really skinny.
I know. I still look at photos of myself. And I'm like, nice, bitch.
Nice.
Fucking hot.
I was sad, but
Yeah, I know.
Cut.
God, every outfit looks so amazing on me. Did you grow up playing sports? You're very athletic looking.
I'm not an athletic or coordinated person. I was bad at team sports. I didn't have hand-eye coordination, and my family wasn't very athletic. So I tended towards running and then swimming, and then triathlon. And now I try to bike to get around. But I like endurance stuff because I like painful things for a long time.
I like endurance. I like running for a long time.
It's so fun.
I like how your body feel like when you're in shape, how it feels like still hard, but like feasible.
And that feeling of I'm pushing as hard as I can. If I pushed any harder, I'd fall apart. But if I stay right here, I can somehow do this for 30 more minutes.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling.
Have you done a triathlon?
Oh, yeah. I used to do triathlons. Yeah.
What?
That was the one I was actually could compete well. As a swimmer, I wasn't very talented. I was a decent runner. But triathlon, I was like, oh, I'm really good at this. And then I looked around. I was like, yeah, because you're the only 23-year-old here. This is all 50-year-old lawyers trying to avoid divorce.
These 50-year-old lawyers who like to buy gear.
Yeah. You spend straight up 10K on a bike.
Yes.
And they're still not that fast.
Of course. Yeah. And bikes, spandex, biking shoes.
Yep.
Swim
Dude, the
caps.
socks are $60.
I know. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, it's one of the most money-spending sports.
What are we talking for your time for your last triathlon or for your PR?
My best, I remember, was just wanting to break 2:10 at an Olympic, and I did, which was 2 hours 10 minutes in an Olympic triathlon, which was 20.
What do you mean Olympic triathlon?
Olympic is the distance.
Oh, I apologize.
So it was a 15.
I thought you were in the Olympic trials.
No. 1,500 meter swim, almost a mile in the water. That was 22:30. I could hold 130, 100, not that fast, and then I could go 22, 23 on probably 21, 22 miles an hour on the bike for the course, and then I could do
What's the run? 5K?
10K.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What's your time for the 10K?
On the triathlon?
Yeah.
I had one race where I broke 40, but I was usually 41, 40 to 42.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
That's awesome.
That was thank you.
Yeah.
For a big guy, I was pretty proud of that.
That's
I
great.
was 185.
You didn't go to college for playing sports? I don't know why.
No, those aren't that really good people.
Yeah.
A really good 10K is 30 minutes. It's crazy.
I know. What did you go to college for?
Math.
Yes.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And I was manager of the women's swim team because I was a big.
What?
I was and am a big fan of
Fucking
swimming.
Pervert.
Yes. Yes, that is a fair accusation.
Should I do gymnastics or swimming? Two good choices.
Yeah, I'll scrub down your kickboard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What'd you go to college for?
Econ, economics.
Nice.
But
Okay.
it was liberal arts. I was halfway through sophomore year. I just needed to pick something.
Mm-hmm.
Seemed like the one with the most,
Yeah.
zhuzh to it.
Yeah.
But I kind of got it. You know, microeconomics,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of straightforward if you get it.
Yes.
Because some people are like, I
didn't get it.
grasp it. Really?
I took it my freshman year and had to drop it because I just couldn't understand that supply demand curve. I was like, I just fundamentally don't understand this, and I've got to drop this course.
Yeah, I was like, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll run it. Because I was back and forth between sociology, anthropology, French, fucking English,
Damn.
communication.
I think that's
There's too
all the
many
majors
choices.
from the girls in girls.
Yeah, it's all the girl stuff.
Yeah.
They're all the same.
They're all the same.
We all write the same
Anthropology.
thesis.
Yep.
Same thesis. How to get poor people more food. It's all in a different way.
First of all, take it off my plate because I'm on a diet.
Yeah, so
put it
I'll
on
give
their
them
plate.
all of my carbs. You made
Carbs for the poor.
Ooh, yay! Math. I had a roommate who was a math major.
Oh, yeah?
He was always just talking theory and
Yeah?
saying, "Oh, that's so interesting."
Was he really?
Yeah.
That's my kind of people.
I think he got a PhD in math.
Could you? Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Was he awkward? I have a theory that if someone's like a true math lover, they can't hide it and they'll be socially.
He was awkward.
Yeah.
But he also was like, "Hey, everyone." We called him Mike 412 because you would go to his room in freshman year to buy weed.
Oh, nice.
So it'd be like Mike 412, and he had like a big speaker set up and blue lights and. But he was still awkward as fuck.
I sold Adderall, so my room was
Really?
the spot for Adderall. Yeah.
Really? At Rice
At
University.
Rice University.
And is that in Texas?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
I know because I think I passed it when I was in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. So you were a math major. You sold Adderall.
I sold Adderall.
How many? What size capsules?
The 20 milligram and the 10 milligram XR. I sold XR. And I still have XR. And people are like, you got Adderall, I'll buy it from you. I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh, no, I want the XR.
No, I don't want that.
I want like fucking,
I
let's
want that
go
instant-
and then crash.
Yeah. That's how you know they don't fucking need it.
Yeah, exactly.
I want that booze now.
Yeah. Versus like XR is like, 8 hours of like
Yeah.
good cleaning.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
How'd you get it?
I was prescribed, and I don't, and I didn't, and still don't like the effect. It has such a strong effect on me. Like I can feel 2 milligrams.
Right.
I can feel so little of it.
So how did you get prescribed? Did you have parents who were like, we're worried
yeah.
about him?
Yeah, my parents would just pump me full of drugs.
Yeah, that was every guy I've dated. He's like, my parents had me on Adderall when I was 7, Ritalin. What's the other fucking
Bro, the day before
And
the
none
SAT.
of them, none of my boyfriends have had ADHD, and all their moms were like, he's a bad kid. Meanwhile, I haven't been to a therapist until I was age 25.
Yeah, my parents would just pump me full of
Really?
and
Is that a boy thing?
I think so, but I did have ADD. I do have ADD.
Yeah.
Like I do have trouble just sitting down and getting my brain
Yeah.
locked in on one thing. But I remember just taking 20 milligrams as a 140 pound
Yeah.
That's sophomore, and then
fucked.
I thought I was depressed because I come home from school depressed every day. And you can't tell a child what you understand as an adult is that sometimes you'll crash emotionally, and emotion has a good way of convincing you it has a logical basis when really it's just chemical for a lot of the cases, and for me and. I thought I was just sad and rejected, and it was like, no, it happens at 3:30 every day because that's when the coke is leaving your system.
Literally.
Yeah.
Damn.
But I would the day before the SAT, I took Adderall just to like get a bunch of stuff done and studying done, and then I was all revved up at bed. My mom was like, "Here, have some of my Ambien so you can sleep." And then and then I took Adderall again in the morning.
Oh my
and
God.
I remember the whole time I was taking the SAT, I was just loving it. And I cotton mouth.
Oh my God.
I don't know which drug. I like.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm done. 15 minutes.
All of the above.
That's amazing. And then you went to college. You were like, I don't fucking need this stuff, but I'm gonna sell it.
I took it when I needed it. Yeah, I was basically prescribed much more than I could ever take.
Yeah, totally. What was your parents like growing up?
My dad was.
You're from Louisiana.
From Texas and Georgia. My dad's from Louisiana.
Okay, yeah.
My dad was a
'Cause you have some
Cajun chemist.
Cajun-y.
A Cajun.
A chemist?
He was a chemist.
Really?
He's a research chemist.
For where was he?
For
Where?
Hercules.
Really?
Which is a petroleum, whatever, technology company in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Yes, been there. Little golf.
Really?
Yeah, I opened for Theo Von there.
Nice.
Very golf. A lot of Hispanics.
I was a minority.
Yes.
I was a minority. Yeah. Mom was she was a med tech.
Okay.
Some masters in microbiology, and she was a mom when she was my mom, and my dad went to work every day and came back home and he was like a quiet guy. And then when I was like 11 or 12, he got in a bike accident and was diagnosed with Parkinson's. So he
Yes.
retired early that year.
Yes.
And I got to know him better, and he was a cool guy. He might have been autistic. He was like very
Okay.
science-minded kind of guy.
Yeah. Not
My
really
mom's.
getting on emotional levels at all.
He worked towards it.
Okay, word.
Yes,
Yes.
and became a very.
I love you.
My dad he was like on one level like a real man. He grew up on like a super poor on like a this sharecropper farm, and but was like he cried all the time. He told me he loved me like every day.
Really?
Yeah, he was a good dad.
This was after the Parkinson's?
After I think he
Got it.
I think he did some soul searching.
Kind of broke him a little bit, broke him down.
I think when he retired, he realized he didn't know his kids as well as he wanted to.
Yeah.
And then got to know us.
Yeah, we had a couple years growing up where my dad lost his job, and it was best 2 years of my life.
Oh.
Stay-at-home dad. I mean, we had no money, but motherfucker was driving me to school every day.
Yep.
Best mood of his life. My mom didn't have to parent, which she didn't ever want to do. So
Nope.
everyone was in a good mood.
No, did she have a job?
She was always in healthcare administration, just HR.
Awful.
My dad
Sounds like
was
an awful job.
Awful, and then my dad was always in freight transportation, like warehouses for FedEx and shit like that.
Whoa. On the road or in the warehouse?
In the warehouse, managing truck drivers. He moved in the city of Buffalo,
Okay.
so he moved 30 minutes away. It was so fucking hard.
From Rochester?
No, we were in Buffalo. We were in Buffalo.
Okay.
And my mom and I were in the suburbs. My dad moved to the city, so I hung out with him like on weekends and stuff.
The fervorous metropolis of
Yeah, of Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo,
oh, yeah.
New York.
Thriving.
Yeah.
So much foot traffic.
Yeah.
So many people
Bubbling,
walking about.
teeming.
Teeming.
Yeah.
Just absolutely like the next Austin is what they're saying.
Those empty warehouses are, you just wait.
Oh, yeah.
They're all going to be CrossFit gyms and breweries.
Breweries, coffee shops. We're thinking Joe Rogan's opening a club. But we'll see. We'll see. Your parents stayed together?
It's Joe Rogan's Comedy Club in Buffalo, and they serve buffalo. That's the only thing on the menu.
Yeah, buffalo.
Yeah.
And the chairs are made of buffalo.
Yes.
And the coffee tables are buffalo bones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Buffalo antlers. You didn't think those existed?
They are.
They do. They have antlers.
On the head of the tribe.
Yeah, exactly. Or just a lot of little, they're like little horns. It just takes like 70 of those to make just one stool.
Yes, but it's worth it.
Joe hunted down every one of them himself.
Bare hands.
Bare hands. He punched them.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he punched them to death.
And he had so much testosterone flowing through him that it took one punch, TKO. TKO.
Boom.
Boom.
Yeah.
Strongest. I love Joe. I'm just such a Rogan head. Such a Rogan head. JK.
No comment.
Well, you see, Kill Tony's going to be on Netflix.
4 times.
Yeah.
4 times.
4 times.
4 times.
4 times.
That's a lot of specials.
That's cool.
That's super.
I just, I love the state of the world right now. I think it makes total sense.
My special's on YouTube. Make sure you check out YouTube.
Make sure you check out Hyperbolic on YouTube.
Yes. Now, it was a different streamer.
Yes, different. Someone else optioned it, which was lucky for you. Hyperbolic, that's a math term.
That is thank you so much for catching that.
I wonder if people are thinking you're saying hyperbolic and that you're exaggerating, but I always thought about the hyperbola.
You're the only person to actually get this. I swear to God, you're the first person I've come on a podcast. You're like, I understand this word has dual meaning. I'm like, that is the whole bit.
Well, you're a math major, so. Yeah. And hyperbola, what you calculated from remember the graphing calculator we had to get when we were seniors or juniors, and our parents were like,
yes,
I don't know if I can come up with that $80.
TI 83 plus.
The TI 83 plus.
Mine was see-through.
Oh my God, you're so cool.
Mine was the clear one.
You're so fucking cool.
Which was $15 extra, and it had no excess functionality that was of utility to me.
It's just clear. It's like that clear Game Boy. It looks cooler, but it's the same. I had the regular. My mom made a fit about buying it. As along with my AP, the prices for the AP exams.
Yep.
Crap
but
like
worth
that.
it. Oh yeah, that's so worth it though, because it's the price of a college course. This was how cool I was in high school and during geometry. Remember how you can figure out everything you need to know based on an angle. If you know a side, an angle, a side, adjacent, or an angle, a side, and an angle.
Yes.
Or a side, a side, a side.
Right.
Or an angle, angle, angle. But you wouldn't get you get the ratios. But what they didn't have was side, side, angle. They said side, side, angle. For side, side, angle, it could be an acute or an obtuse triangle, so you don't know for sure. And I made a program on my TI-83 that allowed you to choose whatever you knew and then type it in, and it would tell you everything you needed to know about the triangle, except I called it angle side side.
Hey!
So I was literally like, ass. Ooh, it's my program.
He's a badass.
Whoa.
He's a problem child.
Teach, don't look over my shoulder. Sass, Asa, ass.
Sucking my dick.
Suck my dick.
You're crazy for that. You're fucking nuts.
I was such a loser.
Were you?
I had no friends.
Yeah.
I truly had zero friends in high school.
No, that does not surprise me. Did you stay in the same place? Did you move as a kid, or?
I moved twice.
Okay.
I lived in Corpus Christi, and then I was born in New Jersey, but I left before. Learned how to walk. I got the fuck out of that shithole.
Paced out.
I went to Corpus Christi. I actually like New Jersey. I try. If you check out my YouTube channel,
It's
I
fun
actually
to make
defend
fun
New
of.
Jersey.
It's fun to make fun of.
But it's a wonderful place.
Yeah.
I shit on Queens. That's what I try to do. I shit on Queens and defend
me.
New Jersey.
Well, you know I'm in Astoria.
And it's
Which is its own little area of Queens. It's one tiny piece of a massive structure.
sprawling.
Yeah.
Yeah, story.
Sprawling.
It's great. Yeah, you just
Let's
take
just
the
say I
N
don't
to the
live in-
R to the N again.
Yeah, and back to
And
the
then
end.
walk 17 minutes.
You're
It's
gonna wanna
great.
hop on the
It's so
queue.
convenient.
Yeah.
And
At
there's
least I don't live in
planes.
Ozone Park. So,
Great name, Ozone Park.
yeah. Why do you think you had no friends
so
growing
good.
up?
It was my own fault.
Yeah.
But I moved from Corpus. I went to Corpus Christi. I went to a magnet school there, which is where they take the highest scoring kids
Yeah.
on this stupid little test.
Yeah.
And they put it in the lowest scoring school. So you'd bus from around the city
Yeah.
to this school that was where they would take kind of the more academic kids and put them in a place where everyone was poor and in
Fucking
gangs.
Urban, suburban, or something like that.
So
Yeah.
it was a fun little reality show of just crossing over mathletes with gang members.
Yeah, so you went over there, and they were like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why you had no friends. 'Cause you're
No,
racist,
that was,
or-
but I still had my yes, because I was racist.
Yes.
I had
Trust me, I'm-
Indian and Asian people to be friends with.
I'm very alone on Wild and Out, so trust me.
But there was diversity amongst the magnet program, but there was
Got it.
homogeny among the
So the magnet
locals.
program was like a little gifted within the school,
And you
Got
take
it.
your own
Yes.
classes, but then you have PE together.
Right.
And that was where
Right.
I got I got shoved a bit. I got
Oh, yeah?
grabbed by the neck and thrown down once. I
Damn.
kind of deserved it. So it's kind of a rough place. It's not like crazy hood,
Yeah.
but it was interesting. And
Rough
it made
enough.
me aware of class and of my privilege.
Yeah.
And then I went to a public school in Texas. In Georgia for a year. That was like rich upper middle class suburban. East Cobb snobs.
Okay, word.
Which was the name they gave them. So like, oh wow, these people are really rich, and
Yes.
it's all like very white.
Yeah.
And then I went to a private school after that for high school, and that was like, oh, these people are so rich they don't even tell you they're rich. I'm like,
Right, quiet.
real wealth is like,
More quiet.
ooh, you don't wear Abercrombie, you don't wear the
No,
brand,
Yeah.
you just
yeah.
it just looks nice.
Very quiet. Very, very quiet. No brands.
Right.
That's like my high school was like rich, like your public high school. Land Rovers, Range Rovers,
Right.
Hollister,
Yes.
Abercrombie, a Guess bag. But then rich is the private schools.
Yes.
With no
Yeah.
labels.
Yes, and like a new BMW isn't as rich as like a classic BMW. If you
Yes.
see like a
Yeah.
1987 BMW,
Yeah.
you're like, ooh, that's money.
Yeah,
money.
totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, Ralph Lauren, Burberry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to
And-
be rich?
No, I was always kind of put off by it. My dad made good money, and we always lived, well within our means. And I always found it kind of tasteless when rich people were that rich.
Yeah.
There's no point in being that rich. I hated private school. I also hated the kids at private school. I hated how unaware they were of their wealth
Yeah.
and how
Yeah.
arrogant they were and just entitled.
Yeah.
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 I like money, but
Yeah. I like comfort.
there has to be a level at which you say this is. Though I will say, living in New York City, I'm like, there's not enough money
Yeah.
to live in New York. That this is
Yeah.
a place that really makes you greedy.
Yeah, for sure. I'm like, I'll take a bunch more. Yeah,
a bunch,
for sure.
a bunch more.
Yeah.
I'll take 100 times what I'm making.
Like that Delta flight went down and they offered the passengers $30K. I was like, if anyone doesn't take it, I'll take yours.
Really? Oh, for the Toronto?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got $30K.
In just straight cash?
Yeah, I think so.
The sad part is if they gave me it in Delta money, I'd spend it within 3
yeah,
years.
literally. I'm surprised they got money. I thought they were going to give vouchers or some shit.
Lots of drinks.
Yes.
We'll give you headphones.
Yeah, headphones, anyone?
You need headphones? Anyone need headphones?
Are you
They're
a Delta
disposable.
guy?
I'm a Delta guy. Are
Me
you?
too. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You a Delta guy?
Oh, yeah. Diamond.
Diamond?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Though it's less and less every day. 15 visits to the lounge.
What the?
I'm
They've been
so
changing the
annoyed.
lounge. They've been changing the lounge.
You mean the Delta
Yeah.
cafeteria?
Literally.
You're like, ooh, a lounge.
You mean
and you're
Delta
like, let me get
Ellis
my
Island?
tray,
Yeah.
my paper
Fat,
tray.
oink, oink, oink.
Yeah.
Oh, they have 7-layer bars.
I
Ew,
sound
it's so
awful.
crowded at the buffet. And
It's
of course,
so
I'm there
crowded.
every time at 5 a.m., so I'm overstimulated. People with their dick in my ass right behind me trying to reach for a fucking hard-boiled egg with cayenne pepper on it.
I'm getting,
Get away from me.
getting butt fucked.
Yeah, getting butt fucked at the...
For the fajita buffet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you get your shrimp salad. They always have like a wet shrimp salad, some sort of couscous with oranges in it, and a cheese plate that's been ravaged with like one piece of salami left on it.
I just grabbed 7 hard-boiled eggs. I'm like, the protein.
Yeah.
There we go. And I try not
Yeah.
to eat a cookie, but I eat a cookie every time.
Yeah, I'll eat a cookie sometimes.
I'm not that good of a cookie.
I'll still no.
I'm happy for that. I'm always like,
Yeah.
oh, this isn't that good a cookie. Thank God.
Right. Agreed. Yeah. They're not supposed to be good.
No, they shouldn't be.
I'll steal stuff if I have a long flight. I'll hoard stuff.
Bananas.
Just in case. Bananas.
Yeah, I'll throw a banana
I'll
in there.
I'll wrap up a bagel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, nasty girl.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm bad.
Yeah.
I'm really bad.
I always worry that I'm going to be caught publicly complaining about all the perks of Delta Diamond and sound snobbish. And in a way, I just condemned, by the way.
I know.
Oh, the irony.
You talk
Yeah.
about the lounge. People are like, I've never even flown. Okay, you're poor. You want to hear something crazy that happened to
Yes.
me? I flew to Vancouver, and it wasn't Delta. It was such a long flight, connected in Montreal, long ass flight across Canada. And I'm pretty serious about my commutes. I'm like, people are fucking around. I hate when people are like nasty. I was telling Caroline we boarded a flight, and one guy was like, "Is there a reason things are taking so long up there?"
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, probably yes.
Yeah.
He's like, I fly a lot, and it's never been this. Like, shut up, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, shut the fuck up.
Offer to help.
Shut the
Figure
fuck
out what
up.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Stop. All sorts of bullshit. Like, don't be doing this. I commute this is my commute. Okay.
Yeah.
So we get off the flight, and from the jet bridge, all these people are walking on the jet bridge to the port, and I see 2 guys walking, and one woman goes by them fast, and one of the guys goes, "Fuck you, you fucking bitch," and I'm like,
I'm here. Uh-huh.
What is that? Don't be doing that.
Yeah.
Everyone's always, this was a week after the Delta flight flipped over in Toronto. Don't be doing this.
Right.
And he's like, "Fucking bitch." And I go up next to him and I say, "Excuse me, did you just call that woman a fucking bitch?" And he's like, "Yeah, I fucking did. And you're a fucking bitch too."
This is a guy who gets like murdered in a Tarantino movie.
Literally.
Yeah.
He's like, "Fucking bitch too. I found out before the flight took off that my dad died." I'm like,
Does that impair your walking speed?
literally.
Yeah.
I say, in my head, I'm like, I found out there was no Wi-Fi after we took off. Do you see me yelling at people to be a fucking bitch?
We both lost a lot today.
Yeah, I had to go through my camera roll for 4 hours. That was my entertainment.
I had to open songs on Spotify only to realize they weren't
Exactly.
uploaded. It was only like 7 songs.
I have one
cached.
Drake album that I
Yeah.
just kept listening to.
Yeah,
And
this
we're
is-
not supposed to like Drake.
We're not supposed to like Drake, but his songs are still good.
Yeah. NPR podcast from 3 years ago. I guess Omicron is back. So I'm like, don't be doing that. And you fucking bitch. And you know what I did?
What'd you
when
do?
we got to the thing, I said to the woman working at Air Canada, I said, "There's a guy over there calling women bitches."
Oh, perfect.
And they're Canadian. They went, "Oh no,
Oh gosh.
no." And he's
That's assault in this country.
Yeah.
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 And also, you can't do that in an airport.
No.
People are trying to travel.
Yeah.
And you can't call, I don't care if you're a gay guy. You can't call women bitches.
Yeah.
Gay men are still men.
Oh, was he gay?
He had the gay vibes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There's some leniency there.
That's what I've heard people say. I don't think so, though.
But be careful.
It would definitely be darker if it was a straight man. Like,
What if it
"You're
was an
fucking
Australian who said cunt? How do we what's the
I would still say this guy's yeah.
on our soil? On their soil, maybe a different crime?
Anyone, if I'm out of my, I guess I was in Canada, but like if I'm abroad, whatever. I don't
Yeah.
care. Whatever happens. But you can't be doing that. You can't be talking to people like that. Handle your emotions. You look like you're over 35, and this woman passed you for no reason. And I think
And you did she like clip him?
No.
No.
She just went
she was
by
just walking
quickly.
faster.
Yeah, I think she said, "Excuse me," and wanted to go
Was he
fucking
fat?
regular.
No,
regular,
okay. I was gonna say if it was
regular.
like a fitness thing, maybe like he was like insecure.
regular, just like a guy who's like saying what we have at the front of our forehead when someone does something like that. someone
Yeah.
when you're in a bad mood that you don't say out loud. And he's fucking bitch. And then after I said that to the woman, I looked back, I didn't see him. So they must have fucking pulled him into a room
Good.
and put him on the no-fly list.
Yeah.
Don't fucking fuck with me.
Tie him to a moose. Canadian
literally.
corporal punishment.
Enjoy your drive across Canada. Hope you got a lot of podcasts downloaded. Have you ever done
you drink
something like
Canadian gas
that?
prices.
Like stood up, like
Yes.
Especially in airports. I'm like, no.
I have two
do
stories that come to mind. One, this is a cunty move, but I'm still proud of it. I was in line for Southwest.
Yes.
And it was a long line.
Yeah.
And, like 50 people. And I noticed the guy in front of me. I just pulled out my ID and
Yeah.
was trying to make a show of it.
Yeah.
And the guy in front of me had his ID pulled out also. And I hate when people get to the front and then, oh yeah, my ID, I need my ID. Yeah.
Hate.
I go, hey, good on you for having your ID out already. Like
Yeah.
really loud and performative. Everyone
Yeah.
looked at him and looked
Hilarious.
at me and was like, okay. I pulled
Hilarious.
it all out. And I'm
Oh,
like,
that's
I just
cunty.
saved us all minutes.
Cunty. That's cunty as
It's
fuck.
so cunty.
That's great.
But it worked.
That's great.
And there's another time it was again Southwest. So many issues with Southwest. I'm always very mindful of if I'm usually early onto the plane in Southwest, I'm mindful of how the bins are filling up.
Yes.
Because when those get jammed, when someone does something stupid, then we waste a few minutes just
Yeah.
trying to find a space for them.
Yeah.
And this woman gets in. Takes the window seat and then sticks her backpack under her seat and then sticks another bag under the middle seat, which is currently unoccupied. Now the plane is completely full, minus that middle seat, and some guy gets on at the end. The bins are all full. He has a backpack.
Right.
And he goes, I need to sit there. She goes, okay. And he sits down there. He goes, whose bag is this? She goes,
Yeah.
that's mine. He goes, it needs to move.
Yeah.
She goes, okay, well, first of all, let's calm down a little bit here.
No, bitch.
And he goes, no, it's my space. You need to move this.
Yeah.
She was like, you're being very rude. And there's no space anymore,
Yeah.
so I don't know what we're gonna do. He's like,
Yeah.
find space for it.
Oh my God.
And he was doing exactly
Love
what you'd hoped.
Love that.
Last on the plane, his
Yes.
wife was sitting there, just great. And they're starting to bicker, and he's just standing his ground, and she's just the worst.
Yeah.
Well, your tone, it could be polite.
Don't
and
care.
then I go, there's space above me. I saw it. Let me just hand me the bag.
Yeah.
And I'd clocked where there was still
Yeah.
room, and I put it in there. And she goes, thank you. You see how he's helpful?
Oh
And
my
I just
God.
go, leave me out of
Hilarious.
this. And the whole, I got like,
That's
when you
great.
get a laugh like
Yeah.
you're performing comedy, and everyone laughs because no one
Yeah,
liked
like a
her.
heckler.
Yeah.
That's
She thought she
hilarious.
was gonna get cheers.
I know, loser.
And then at the end of the flight, he just bounds off.
Yeah.
And she was like, I just wanted to say thank you again. I was like, no. I didn't have the heart to just you were so in the wrong and used to be ashamed.
I know.
And then
know.
another one was like, that was rude how he treated you. You were right.
Oh
I was
my
just like, we're all
God.
gassing each other up.
White women?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very Florida looking.
Oh yeah, Florida, a tanned foot.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Tanned foot with like a
Very
blouse.
Disney, Florida.
That's, yeah, like blouses that hide their whole bodies.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about people wearing shorts or sandals on airplanes?
Don't like the sandals.
Okay.
I
What about
don't-
shorts?
It's whatever. I'm like, I feel bad. They're gonna be shivering.
I'm the opposite. I get sweaty crotch. I
Really?
get a swampy butt.
Really?
If I wear jeans. So I sometimes wear shorts on a plane, but I'm like,
Okay.
it's a lot of thigh, a lot of hairy, pale thigh.
It's a lot of, like if there's especially, sometimes in first class, you get upgraded to first class and it's always me and like a 6'8" dude. He's like, I gotta sit up here. Yeah. And he's got shorts on. His calves are like this big. I hate looking at that because it's like, ugh.
He's
Then I'm just like,
Slovenian.
yeah, it's huge, dude. Like little tiny ankle socks. Yeah. And I'm picturing his cock.
I'm
picturing his cock.
I'm picturing who's the senator? Who's the dude who wears shorts all the time?
Fucking John Fetterman or
Yeah.
what's his name?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Is that his name?
It's that. It's
Yeah.
that guy every time.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's that guy. Yeah. Dude, I think white people need to chill out.
Yeah.
This happened to me. I was smoking a J, walking down the sidewalk in New York City where weed is legal.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm a badass. And I had headphones on, and this guy, all of a sudden, this guy's in my face. My stupid ass was like, oh, he's a fan. Because sometimes I'll be walking around and they're like, excuse me, are you? Then I'm like, yeah. And he goes, and I take my headphones out. I'm like, what? He's like, you blew it right in my face. I'm like, I look around, sidewalk as wide as this room. So did I blow it in your face? Or was I walking and the smoke was there and you walked into it? Not to gaslight. If I blew it right in your face, that would be me staring at you and blowing it in your face.
Right.
You were walking with your dick in my ass.
Uh-huh.
And now you're pulling my headphones out to say, you blew it right in my face.
And you had to pause your Drake that you were
I had to
listening
pause my Drake, my downloaded album,
Mhm.
and say, no, I didn't. Yes, you fucking did. And he was like a fat, like thick ass gay Lululemon guy.
Okay.
I'm like, this
Lululemon
city
gay?
used to be filled with
What borough was this
beatniks. It was in Chelsea.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say,
14.
that wouldn't happen in Queens.
No way.
No.
And I just feel like this city used to be filled with cool artists and drug users.
Yes.
And now I got a fucking Orange Theory. Lululemon.
You're being very ableist to people with asthma.
I said, no, I didn't. And it's legal here. No, it isn't legal. And I'm standing right in front of a store that says, weed here.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a cop. He's smoking a blunt. I'm like, yeah, it is, bitch. Walk over there.
The mayor is doing coke.
The mayor's doing
Yeah,
coke.
Yeah. I would be like, the dispersal rates of gas in a turbulent outdoor environment is going to be inversely proportionate to the fourth power.
Oh, well, certainly, yes.
Yeah.
And if you take a look at past examples, you'll see the COVID particle diagram in which the particles immediately dissipate when you're outdoors.
That happened to me during COVID. I was biking past a lady who was like 10 yards away and I coughed. And she was like, don't be coughing. This is a black woman.
Remember that? Yeah.
She's like, don't be coughing. I'm like, that would be like hitting a golf ball into the moon.
Yeah, literally.
Such a long
literally.
shot.
I'd be like, I used to run over COVID because it's the only thing that take your day up. I would run like 8 miles just to take up a couple hours. And people, if you weren't running with a mask, I'm like, give me a fucking...
That's why we lost this last election, because liberals made real fools of ourselves.
Yes, we
in
did.
2020. I mean, I guess we could probably, if we went back in time, we'd be like, at that point we didn't know, so we're just being careful.
And bodies were piling up.
And bodies were absolutely piling up, and I keep forgetting that part.
Bodies were hitting the floor. I mean, it's 5 years, like basically to this day, that they said, still go inside. Oh yeah. I remember my last show was 14th. At like QED or something, and everyone at QED was like, which is a little comedy club, and people were like, if we just like stay apart from each other, like I don't think we'll have to, like I think we'll be fine.
I had just been eliminated on the first round of a Netflix comedy competition show.
Oh yeah, was that a Chrissy Teigen show or no?
No,
okay.
No, this was. There was 3 judges, right, who each picked a team of 4 comics from like 30 of us.
I hate that.
And it was Dion Cole,
Tig
Notaro, and Neil Brennan. And
such similar characters.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Dreamboat rotation.
I wasn't black enough for Dion's team. I wasn't gay enough for Tig's team, and I wasn't black enough for Neil's team.
Hilarious.
I also I didn't have a good performance. I shouldn't credit anything. I didn't do well,
but
and
I love
didn't
going
move
away
on.
being like, I just didn't fit what they wanted me to fit. Meanwhile, it was crickets.
Yeah, it was just it was me just fucking being stiff and picking the wrong set and not being funny enough. But I had all this. The show was supposed to I had canceled gigs. It was supposed to be like 5 weeks, and the winner gets a Netflix special. And I lost, and then like just completely lost my shit and was like crying on camera. But like, you lied to me, and I just made a fucking fool of myself. Like broke down.
You cried on camera?
My eyes watered up. And they're gonna fucking find this footage and play it. My biggest fear. I was so not. I was such a sore loser.
Yeah.
And then the next day I wake up. They're like, you have to leave your hotel and fly home. And I was like, oh, wow, this is the end of my career. Back then, it was you had a Netflix special or you weren't successful.
Yeah.
Now you've got a YouTube special, Hyperbolic on YouTube.
Yeah, of course.
And
or Hulu.
The day I flew home was February 12th.
Wow.
And then the whole
March
country
12th
shut
or
down.
February 12th?
March? Was it March?
I think it was March.
Oh, okay, March.
Yeah,
March. And then
way,
the show did not resume that Monday.
Let's go.
And never resumed again.
Let's go.
And I was like, I secretly still love COVID because it put a nail in that coffin.
That's so funny.
It was, I thought everything was over, and it was.
That's hilarious.
For everyone.
Yeah, for everyone.
Yeah.
Bye, bitch.
Yeah.
Be careful what you wish for.
It was weirdly valid the whole time. It was the last set I had before.
Yeah. You're only as good as your last
pandemic,
set.
Yeah, but actually, also to be fair, I was performing again by like June. I did not do a good job with COVID. I flew to Texas to do comedy and got COVID.
That's so
in
funny.
June.
That's so funny. Yeah, because we were all fucking sitting on our own farts in New York City.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Florida's open, Texas open. Everyone in Nashville is getting better at us than comedy, and we're like. No, I'll just do front-facing videos. It's safer.
I'm gonna make sketches with my boyfriend.
Yeah.
I do think.
I did that.
Not to be actually, I do think like New York had a lot of comedy happening. It was just secret.
Yes.
Like LA was like not doing comedy
At all.
and like proudly not doing comedy. And Florida was like doing comedy and loud. And New York, like, what if we did it but just didn't advertise it?
Yeah,
That's why I love
exactly.
New Yorkers.
Yeah.
Like, let's just break the rules and
do it. Yeah.
hey, don't make nothing about it, okay?
Yeah, we just want to get together and have a
Hey,
couple
listen,
laughs.
We're gonna have a dinner tonight.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah,
We're gonna just be all hanging out on the rooftop.
Yeah.
No questions.
It
okay?
was super low key.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I did a show of 23 degrees on a 5th floor rooftop. People were wearing the like aluminum jackets, like they just survived a fire.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like they just went. Yeah. Like
They,
they
like,
just
finished
got
a
pulled out.
marathon.
Hilarious. Like they just fucking finished some sort of slalom.
It was the best, dude. The pandemic in New York City. Also, I was in Florida at the beginning of the pandemic. I lied. I actually didn't fly home from that thing. I flew to Florida and ended up spending the first month in Florida. And this is another thing that's left out of the historical record. Floridians at the beginning of the pandemic were scared.
Yes.
They were really, because they love fear.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes, they do.
I was
And
living in a
was,
very
like,
old white
people?
Republican.
Old
Yeah,
people were-
Fort Myers Beach.
Yeah.
This was how crazy the neighborhood. I was with my in-laws in Fort Myers Beach, and it was just we would just go for walks every day. Old people, we'd stand far away.
Yeah.
We wear masks at the supermarket, and like one day, just two Lincoln Navigators just showed up in the parking lot in the driveway of one of the houses, and they had New Jersey license plates, and the cops showed up 3 times because the neighbors were calling the cops that people from New Jersey had driven down to their second house.
Oh my God.
Floridians like they're gonna
Yes.
infect us,
Yeah.
and it should be illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that when people would like, I remember 2 comedians like, they went back to Montreal or something, and everyone was like, filth.
Filth,
They're like, no, we aren't stopping at all. We're
unclean.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Human viruses.
Very judgmental time.
Yeah.
Really weird. I can't believe it's in 5 years. Yeah.
I walked 2 people because of some political stuff.
Oh yeah.
This weekend.
What'd
Not
you
like
say?
aggressively.
What
I was
city?
just doing my shit. I was talking about liking Luigi Mangione. And
Yeah.
I had a joke about Trump's assassination.
Yeah.
And then I had
And people left.
2 people who were already, so they were actually, it was a couple that was already making trouble for the feature when she was talking about, she was worried about her niece and the defunding of libraries. And they were all like, just, and it's like, you're against, but you're, okay, that's not even a political thing. We should have libraries.
The thing with libraries is who's reading?
It's indoctrination.
Who's reading?
The more you learn, the more they control you.
Exactly.
You got to keep your head empty and
I
clear.
haven't read a book in 10 years.
Yeah, and that's why I'm stronger mentally than you.
So they walked
So
out?
they walked out kind of peacefully during my set.
Yeah.
And like my instinct, I didn't say anything. I was like, you won.
Yeah.
Why
I know.
you go back into the world, you have it. It's
I
all
know.
yours. All
I
3
know.
chambers. Why you
Literally, all three.
won.
All
just,
3.
Just take a little.
Yeah. Literally.
I'm gonna shit on Biden. He's not in power anymore.
I know. What city was this?
This was in Springfield, Massachusetts. Who was
Word.
otherwise a very fun. I really liked the
Word,
crowds.
yeah.
They were very like.
Yeah, I was in Phoenix, and my host was a guy named Tony, gay guy, and he was like, "These crowds are very, they think they're sophisticated, but they're not, and they can lean Republican."
Yes.
Tony said he had done a show after Trump got shot in the ear, and he made fun of Trump's hair.
Cool.
2 guys walked out, and the
Yeah.
staff said, "Where you going?" They said, "We're going to our truck to get our guns so we can kill a kid."
Whoa. Well, you bleeped yourself there in a way that people are going to think was done.
I know.
That was her mouth
right?
that did that.
I try to take care of the editors for a minute. And
Wow.
then
in Phoenix? You live in Phoenix. You're not on a ranch.
I know.
You live in a very glassy, brand new
Literally.
apartment.
You live in a white cardboard house.
You go
in the
to
desert.
You go to Power
Like,
Core.
Yeah, yeah.
You get smoothies.
You
This
go
is
to
the most
Pliable.
fucking you domesticated
Yeah,
Pomeranian of
I
a
know,
man.
Literally.
We have guns in our truck.
The club zip tied them to the sidewalk, on the sidewalk, because they were like,
Oh, yeah, it's
you
a
have-
death threat.
Yeah, we have to keep you here and call the cops because
Yeah.
you just said you're gonna kill.
Dude,
you're
and
gonna-
the worst part is now they're forever like that was the best moment of their life.
Yeah.
Like we were free speech and they tied us up.
Yeah.
Like savages,
this.
and we're just exercising our free speech.
Like
Meanwhile, they're not even from a place with a southern accent. They're from
Literally,
they're
yeah.
from Pittsburgh. They
Yeah,
just
from
they
Pittsburgh.
made a southern accent when they moved to Phoenix.
Yeah, well, you know how it goes.
Being persecuted.
These liberals. Weird.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's I think
Did you hear Texas news?
League City?
No.
What's the
What?
Texas news? League City's for the Tesla dealership.
Leak City. Leak City, bitch. I don't know what Leak City is. I was going to say a guy in Texas wants to rename the New York strip steak to the Texas strip. Okay.
All right.
He said it would be better to recognize the many, many cattle that go into making the steaks.
Cool.
Yeah.
Really neat.
Yeah.
Super neat. Super. It's so funny after they rightfully condemned, those kind of people would rightfully condemn the left for, getting all etymological with their, you can't say a grandfather. That actually has a very racist origin.
Literally, master bedroom.
Yeah. We should call it by its native name, master bedroom. I didn't even know that.
You don't know? Yeah.
I spread a rumor that jaywalking was racist for a while just to see if people believed me.
Hilarious.
Ooh, we don't say the J
I'm surprised
word walking.
that you didn't hear about that. That's so funny. Just picking any random thing to be like.
It was very heartening. I was just in Fairbanks, Alaska.
Okay.
And Trump is trying to rename Denali McKinley.
Yep.
It was Denali, then it was McKinley,
Yes.
and now they made it Denali again, and that's what they call it now. And now he wants it to be McKinley.
Yes.
But then there's a city called Barrow, which is the northernmost city in
Okay.
Alaska, and probably this half of the world, and they renamed it Utqiagvik, which is its native name, and they're trying to do that. And Alaskans are like, we're going to keep calling it Barrow, and we're going to keep calling it Denali.
Yeah.
So they're like, we don't really care if it's the native or the thing. It's just what we're the American thing. We're just going to keep referring to how we know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's
fuck
not about
off.
who gets offended. Just let's
You're
call it what
wasting
we
our
call it.
time.
You don't visit here.
At all.
You don't have the proper winter wear.
No way.
No way. No chance.
I never seen him in anything but a peacoat.
Can you imagine Trump in a beanie? My ear was a cold.
Did you hear there's a wildfire in Long Island?
No.
Someone started it because they wanted to make s'mores.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I thought you were telling a joke I didn't get. You hear why they started that long fire in Long Island? Because someone wanted to make s'mores.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what's the connection there? I'm sorry.
Hey.
Okay. League City, Texas is where they just pulled the wheels
League
off
City.
of, which is outside Houston. I'm trying to be mindful of clips, and I interrupt myself in a way
it's
so
all
that
good.
won't be useful in a clip.
You're good.
In League City, outside of Houston, they took the wheels off of like 86 Teslas at a Tesla dealership overnight.
Really?
That's the news today.
That's awesome.
It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Where are they?
I don't know.
Damn.
I think they probably like tried to like leave like
Yeah.
the Michelin Man like
Yeah.
stacked
Yes.
around them.
Yes.
Imagine them just like running.
Yeah.
Go. No, officer, I haven't seen any suspicious looking people. Tires just falling off and bouncing. Boom,
yeah.
boom, boom, boom.
That's crazy. Damn.
Damn, that's a pretty gangster move.
Well, RFK said he's banning food dyes.
Cool. That's absolutely what we need.
Yes.
It's annoying with RFK because like a part of what he's saying, like you're not like totally wrong,
Right.
but this is pretty pointless.
It's kind of like the fluoride in the water obsession. Like, it's not something that needs to be taken care of. There's not a large amount of fluoride in our water.
No.
And yet, everyone is obsessed with fluoride in the water.
Because they're bad at science.
Yeah, food
Bad
dye.
at science.
If you look at the parts per million, it's not significant.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Right.
It's like smoking one cigarette won't kill you.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. Literally.
It's below the threshold. But it's cool. That's kind of the thing now. I think like stupid people are getting like cocky about being stupid.
Yes.
Have you noticed that?
Yes, they are. Yeah.
They're like, it started with like college. Like, oh, you went to college? That's where they get you. It's
Yeah,
like,
I know.
I learned linear algebra.
Literally.
That's not like,
Yeah.
I don't know what you think happens in college. Whoa.
I know, dude. Before I went to college, my friend's dad was like the first Republican I ever met, LOL. And he would listen to Rush Limbaugh, and he did interior painting, so I
Yeah.
painted with him. Rush would be on, oh, the ghetto, these gangs, and it's black on black crime. I'm just rolling, taping,
A lack of
vacuuming.
father figures.
Yeah, exactly. Just a bunch of racists. And my friend's
They'll
dad.
spend it on Nikes, all this like, not even coded stuff.
And I'll see people with food stamps and a cell phone. Explain that.
So my friend's dad looked at me and he says, Maddie, I know you're going to a liberal school, but be careful what they tell you there. And I went to school, and same with you. I learned macroeconomics,
Dead weight.
Dante's Inferno, sunk costs,
Sunk cost fallacy.
blah, blah, blah. Like, what are you... There was nothing that left leaning about my college education. Matthew, thank you so much for joining today. Before we wrap up, we do have a hotline, And is there anything else you would like to add? I would also like to ask, how did you get from math to comedy?
Ooh, to me, they are very similar. To me, I like math because I like puzzles. I think every math problem is a puzzle. Here's some information. Here's where you're trying to get with that information. Can you build a bridge out of what you've given you to the place you need to go? I think riddles are a type of puzzle.
Yeah.
And riddles is basically I'm telling you some information and where you need to go with it, and there's a gap there, and you have to bridge that gap using what you already have. And when you solve it, it's very satisfying. And I think jokes are very similar to riddles.
They are.
I think
Same
jokes
thing.
and riddles are like, I don't know what the word, like genus, same genus, if that's the right
I
word.
think so. Yeah, family, genius,
Family, whatever.
species,
And
blah, blah, blah.
I'm no taxidermist.
Exactly. But they are. I mean, if you watch Mark Norman, they're like, this is like
It's nearly a
literally
riddle.
the same as like a
You
New York
could-
Times crossword.
Yeah, you could invert the structure and,
Yeah.
and play it backwards and similar thing. So I think to me, it's like I like puzzles, I like riddles, and I think jokes are like a riddle, except a joke, the gap is just a little bit shorter so that you can solve it in a short but satisfying amount of time.
Yeah. Nice.
That's it. That's my answer. I've thought years about that.
That's great. Well, thank you. Check out Matthew Broussard's special, Hyperbolic. It's on YouTube. He's recently engaged. Congrats to that.
Yes, thank you.
And we can find you where? Monday Punday?
Monday Ponday, all platforms.
On all platforms. Do you have a podcast right now?
Yes. She does stand up too with Laura, my fiance.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But check out my special first.
Okay, right. Yeah, check out the special. And we have a hotline. It's called the Fucked Up People's Anonymous.
Yeah.
FUPA hotline.
Ooh.
And people will call in and confess to fucked up shit they've done. We kind of talked about you said you were cunty a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I did anything fucked up. You know, I do CVS Caremark for my med delivery, and I'm on Vyvanse.
Okay.
And they're such a controlled substance that they count every single one. Like you can't get one delivered like one day earlier at all. If they count like for 6 months, 5 months, how many pills you've received.
Oh wow.
And one of my deliveries got stuck in Brooklyn in November. So they're counting it, but it ended up coming. But I told them this week that one never came.
Ooh.
So you're going to have to ship me my meds. But then when I got off the phone, I felt like that was very illegal. I just hate the Caremark because you never know. And like, I'm like, I think if a prescription is sent, it should be filled.
I swear to God, I thought you were doing an ad spot for CVS Caremark.
Hilarious.
The way you started that, I'm like, oh, we're doing that. I'll just tune out.
Let me tell you about something that happened to me this week. You might know about a little thing called CVS Caremark. No, I basically just told them, like, you have to send my medication.
Oh, that's
yeah.
still good. Well, now
Right.
you have extra and you could sell it. Vyvanse isn't so easy to
No,
sell. is it?
and
Yeah.
no one wants Vyvanse.
No.
It doesn't have the same edge as Adderall.
No.
Adderall's like, and Vyvanse is like, you're like, all right, I'm focusing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's a slightly cunty.
I guess so.
Or yeah,
I don't
fucked.
know.
I don't think that's fucked up. I think the system should let you have more than that, and I think you should
I
be mad at
agree.
the system.
I agree. And also, how come when you call, it takes 5 days until someone actually gives you the right answer?
Right.
When you're talking to the freaking customer service, oh, I just gave that the okay, so it should ship tomorrow. And then the next day, it's still, that's my biggest pet peeve is when shit hasn't been done.
Yes.
That people said they were going to get done, and there's a different answer.
Can I tell my horror story
Yep.
with support lines?
Absolutely.
I rented a car from Priceline
Oh,
and
Rented
from
cars.
Hertz. And when I showed up at Hertz, they said they didn't have it. but
renting
they would.
cars got to be my, every time I rent a car, that's my 13th reason.
Yeah.
I'm about to off myself in front of the guy.
Yeah.
But keep going.
Yeah, it's the worst. It's the worst system. But Priceline's so much cheaper, so I do it through Priceline.
Yep.
And I pay for it on Priceline. I get to Hertz. They don't have a car, and they say, "Okay, we'll just put it in the system, and you can reach out to Priceline, and they'll give you
Yeah.
a refund." I reach out to Priceline. They go, "We haven't heard from Hertz." I reach out to Hertz. They
Hey.
said, "We sent our message already."
Hey.
I said, "Can you call them? Can you give me an email? We'll
Hey.
try it. We'll try it." And then I get back and forth 10 times.
Virgin
10
tears.
times
Virgin
for $117.
Yes.
I finally do what has never been done before. I call Priceline.
Okay.
And then I conference them in with Hertz.
Oh, nice. Let's go.
And I don't know
Freeway.
what hell feels like. I don't know what it looks like, but
Yep.
it certainly sounds like two hold tones playing at the same time.
Hilarious. That is what hell sounds like.
And it was very funny because I realized Priceline was in the wrong.
Yes.
It was very much Priceline was in the wrong. Hertz had sent the stuff. And the Hertz contract person was so cunty with the
Yeah.
Price Slam person. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's how I feel.
Right.
They're like, we supplied that information already, and we have given you the proper paperwork to issue the refund. They're like, sorry, but we will just need the proper.
Yeah.
I gave that to you.
Yeah.
I just gave that. You're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
It's like watching your parents
Let's
fight.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go, Mom.
Let's go, Mom.
Crush it. So we're fucked up over here in the Madhouse. Thank you for calling the FUPA hotline. What did you do this week?
This was maybe 10 years ago. I was
Okay.
working at a carpet store as like a stock, delivery, installation, all that. And I had one coworker who was just an asshole. He was kind of from like the neighboring ghetto town and just always got in my face, super
Yeah.
aggressive, over nothing. So one day, he was just kind of getting on my nerves, and I spoke up. Was kind of giving him attitude back, and he got up in my face and was like, yo, what's your problem, man? Like, you want to do something? You want to step outside? And this is in front of, like, two of my bosses. So I just sat there, kind of shut up and let it be.
Let
But
it
then
be.
it was boiling in me. I
Okay.
was pissed.
Been
Sorry,
there.
I'm out of breath. I just ran up a flight of stairs.
All good, fatty.
Anyways, so I was like, how do I get this guy back? And so, being an installation store, there's hardware in the back.
Yeah.
I go to the back. I find 4 decent-sized nails, and I go to the parking lot, and I angle the nails in between the road and his tires so that when he backs up, voila, 4 pot tires.
A-hole.
The next day, I come into work. He shows up.
He killed himself.
Everyone's asking, how's your day? And
Not
it
good,
gets to
dude.
him, and he goes, I had a really tough night last night on the way home from work. I had 3 pot tires, and it took me like 3 hours to call a tow truck to
Oh
get
my
home,
God.
all that, yada, yada,
So
yada.
fucked.
And meanwhile, I'm just standing there with a clipboard, smiling, extremely justified. And I was just happy that
Nice.
he learned his lesson.
Let's go.
And, he never really bothered me after that. So, yeah, it may have been fucked up, but he deserved it.
That's right,
I love you
bitch.
guys. Have a good one.
Love you. Thank
Love
you for
that.
calling.
Love
I
that.
like that. Classic little revenge story. That's something out of the freaking Parent Trap.
I love that. Also, I love that he was like, yeah, 3 of them popped. I'm like, wait for the
Yeah.
4th shoe to drop there.
Yeah, yeah.
I also love it, like instances where you're like, I did a fucked up thing, and the part I feel worst about is that I don't feel bad about it.
I know. That's
Mm-hmm.
what a lot of people are like, should I feel weird?
And I'm like, and I don't. I feel
don't.
great.
Yeah.
And that's that
Yeah.
guy where I'm like, yeah, it's kind of great to just be like, yeah, I did it, and it was bad, and
Yeah,
I
it
still,
is.
I would do it again.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes I'll go to my old manager and report his page.
Really?
Yeah, why not?
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of page?
Instagram.
Okay.
Report it.
Did it work?
Trafficking.
Nice.
No, it doesn't work, but it feels good to just throw someone out there. Make sure that the internet's looking,
Yeah. Yeah.
keeping track of this
That
person.
petty vengeance. They'll
Yeah.
never know where it came from.
Yeah.
That guy really just thought. Also, that guy's pretty stupid if he didn't, suspect sabotage. That 3 wheels pop.
I know. I
Yeah.
know.
What are the odds?
Damn. What a weird night.
Whoa, I must have walked under a ladder or something.
He probably knew that he's a fucking asshole because he never bothered that guy again.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Well, thanks you for a great voicemail. You guys call this number here to give us a confession. Matthew, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Check out Matthew's special again on YouTube. It's called Hyperbolic. And shout out to Jorge and Caroline in the studio booth. And we'll see you next week on the Madhouse. Peace.